NXT New Orleans. I'll say this. I enjoyed the show. Even though there's a lot of problems with it, I did enjoy it. And I know a lot of people are going to say, dude, there was no problems with it. It's beautiful. No. There were problems with it. You cannot say this show was perfect. It was not perfect. And the major glaring weakness of this show was one thing. Lack of selling. A lot of the matches didn't sell very well. Now, mind you, they still told a good story. And I'm not taking that away from any of the matches. They told a good story. But the lack of selling was a major issue for me personally. And this is what it's coming down to. If I'm being objective, it was a good show. You can easily watch any of the matches and be satisfied with them. But if you're going to be honest, see it by a personal perspective of yourself, like myself, the show was good. But the problem was there was a lack of selling. They did not tell a complete story. They told a story, but not a complete one. Now let's go to the very beginning. The one thing I really liked, and I wish that the WWE would do generally when it comes to WrestleMania, is to do the music first. Get it out of the way. Because that's one of the major problems of the WWE these days. They have to have the music in the middle of the show, and it gets so... it's too much. Look, I'd rather they 1 year skip the music, skip the entertainment in that respect, and just give us what we want. We want wrestling, we want story, we want spectacle, not just music. Yes, they did it in past WrestleManias and it worked, but sometimes it's good to change it up. In this respect, they played all the music first. It was about 3 to 4 minutes long. I was alright with it. And I'd rather see something like that for the WWE at least once in a while for one of their major pay-per-views where they always throw music. In this respect, WrestleMania. Now we put this aside. Ladder match. I'll say this. It was a very active ladder match, and it had Ricochet in it. It had Sullivan in it. It had Velveteen Dream, who was my favorite. You had, who else in there? EC3, Adam Cole, and who else was there? I'm forgetting somebody. Drain. Or Drain. If I'm pronouncing his name. Drell or Drain. I always forget the guy from Sanity's name. It's always something I tend to forget. He's a Belfast demon in a sense. That's how I saw him as. He's a very good wrestler. Here's the thing. I know a lot of people are going to say Adam Cole winning was perfect. I'm glad it happened. For me personally, no. The person that should have won it wasn't EC3. He just came back to the company after years being away. It was not Ricochet. He just joined the company. It was not Sullivan, and it was not Drain. It had to be Velveteen Dream. You know why? And I know I'm going to get a lot of attitude here, and a lot of people are not going to like this, but I got to say this. When you look at NXT and the rest of the other two brands, the major problem they have is variation. The people want to see a medium-sized wrestler doing high-flying work. And the problem is, it does not always work if every single person is the same. They can be the same size. They can be the same build. But if they have the same style of persona, character, if they have the same wrestling ability, they seem empty. You look at Velveteen Dream. He is completely different than anyone on the roster of NXT or in the WWE in general. He was the best person to take that North American title and make it something. Yes, he's 22 years old. He's just a kid. I know. He's probably not going to be able to know how to really make that title be the best it can be. I know that. Adam Cole has been around for a while. That's the reason why they went there with him, because he is one of the most established persons there that has been in the company for a while. He's been established out in the Indies and he's been established in NXT, so they went there with him. But if you really want to do something special, you needed to go with Velveteen Dream. He was the most over person there. Yes, I know I heard people screaming for Adam Cole's name. But you want to be honest. Taking away from practically everyone looking the same. And I know people going to say that, oh, no, Ricochet was different. No, he wasn't. Adam Cole did the same thing. He did do the same freaking thing as Ricochet, just not as much. There's your problem. A wrestler doesn't need to use so much aerial to tell a story. Sometimes you need to tell a story in other ways. And I'm not saying this because I'm an old freaking man. I'm saying this as an objective reviewer. Sometimes you need to have more than just high-flying ring ability. Because when you go by just high-flying ring ability, it becomes very stagnant. Look at ECW. ECW crashed because they only catered to one style. Yes, they had other things, but by the end of it, they only had one major style, and that's what killed them generally. Not saying that networks didn't kill them too, but you get my point. One single style. And that was what killed them. Here, one single style. It was Adam Cole, Ricochet. They were the ones who were doing the most high flying there, and I believe that was stagnant for them. Velveteen Dream was completely different. He's not a super high flyer, but doesn't mean he can't do the work when it's necessary. That's why he should have won. That's just my point of view. You disagree with me, tell me. When was the last time you saw Adam Cole and Ricochet not use so much high flying? You can't. Because that's what their main bread and butter is. And sometimes you need more. And I didn't mind EC3. And I definitely didn't mind Sullivan. And who else was there? Drain. Drawn. I liked them. But Velveteen Dream was the best person to go. Next, the women's title. Shannon, am I saying? Shannon Baszler. I'm mispronouncing her name. Always mispronounce that lady's name. Versus Ember Moon. Now here's the problem I saw in the beginning. Not the rest of the match. Because the rest of the match was awesome. It was. I think it was much better than the rest of the matches throughout the night. But in the beginning, there was practically no selling towards each other. They just jumped from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 moves to 6 moves to 7 moves to 8 moves to 9 moves to 10 moves. The only time when it got interesting is when Ember Moon stood on Shannon Baszler. I'm mispronouncing her name, I'm sorry. I'm really bad with names. And then stomped on her elbow to pop it out of place. To pop her shoulder out of place. Dislocate her shoulder. That is when things became awesome. When was the last time you saw a wrestler, male or female, on the WWE roster try to pop their shoulder back into place? Only one person, and that was Finn Balor. Unlike Finn Balor, this looked like it was a work, so she probably wasn't that badly injured. Hopefully she wasn't. But in the end, because she had to persevere through this and do whatever she had to win, it made it credible, showing that she's one of the baddest women in NXT. It was a good match, and there's nothing wrong with Ember Moon losing here. In fact, I think it was time for her to lose, because it's pretty much time for her to move up to the main roster. And who do I think she should go to? SmackDown. Now, do I believe it's right for her to go to SmackDown because she's going to be booked great? No. But when it comes down to it, there's way too many women on Raw they're going to focus on. Then, well, I can't really say it like that because I think I better do a video separate for Ember Moon. Because it's obvious they're going to bring her up sooner or later. It's going to happen. So, you know what? I'm going to leave this. If you guys want to hear a video on my thoughts on Ember Moon when she comes up to the main roster, just leave a comment below. I think I might do it, but I am feeling still sick, so I might forget. Have been forgetful a lot because my stomach has been bothering me. And I've been coughing a lot. Anyway, the next thing, the triple threat tornado match of the Dusty Rhodes Classic and getting the NXT title. That was with Authors of Pain versus the Undisputed Era versus, what was the guy named? Store and Russell. Ren. I haven't seen the product in a while. I'm sorry. If I'm mispronouncing the last three guys, Strom and the other guy, I forgot his name. I'm sorry. I haven't seen the product in nearly 2 months. For all the things I've been working on. So, when it comes down to it, was this a good match? No. No, it was not. It had a great outcome, which was the wisest outcome. But here's the thing. If you had made it a regular tag match, I think it would have been more relevant. That's the truth. Undisputed Era versus either one of the other two teams would have been more effective than having a tornado match. Because even though there's a huge amount of spots that I know that even the Lex Man is going to be praising it. And I'm not against the Lex Man. I understand him praising it. Because there was a lot of great spots there. But that's the problem. So many spots, there was no real story or any real wrestling. And that was a major issue here. Sometimes you need to do real wrestling. And there were spots in there that was real wrestling. And I'm not saying there wasn't 100% wrestling in it. But when you have maybe 20% wrestling and 80% spot, there's a major issue. And I'm being honest here. There were so many spots. It ruined the match. At least for me. The ending was good. I'm glad that the Authors of Pain didn't win. Because I do believe they need to be moved up to the main roster after WrestleMania. Paul Ellery. Excuse me, I'm still sick. Paul Ellery needs to be on the main roster with the Authors of Pain. Razor and I can't believe I forgot their names. I haven't seen the product in so long. But I'm telling you right now, the Authors of Pain need to be either on SmackDown or Raw. Probably they're going to go to Raw. Because they need tag teams there. They got nothing there. The only real tag teams you have on SmackDown Live, and they're barely even promoting them. That's just me. Sierra Omos versus Aleister Black was, to me, the second best match of the night. When it came to Baszler and Ember Moon, I believe that was the best match. The way they made the story. That's the truth. This was the second best match of the night. That was the story. Because of how Aleister Black was treated by Omos. How Omos had been cheating and constantly cheating and constantly cheating. And Aleister Black was just sick of it. And he tore through his ass. And I gotta say this about Sierra Vega. Next to Austin Aries being lucky to have such a beautiful woman. Lucky bastard. She made that match feel great. Not just because she was damn good looking in it. Showing a lot of cleavage. She participated in that match more than just trying to grab Aleister Black's leg. Doing hurricane ranas in the ring, outside the ring, was what he needed to have by his side. And I'm talking about Omos. Omos needed someone that is willing to do whatever it takes to keep that title for him. And with him. And that's why Sierra Vega is so good. She's not like a regular female wrestler. Nikki Cross is the only other person I see that will go up against a man knowing full well she'll still get her ass whooped, but she doesn't care. That's how I see it. On NXT, those are the two women I believe are the ones that no one can mess with because in the end, they don't care. If they went to the main roster, either one of them, they would go after men. And that's what I really believe is necessary for the WWE. Women that can actually go up against men no matter if they're the same size as them or not, like a Nia Jax. That's what I enjoyed. And almost retained here. No, not almost retained here. I really am sick. I'm still loopy from the medicine. Aleister Black won. That was really good. Now the question is going to be what's going to happen this coming NXT. I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch it. Because of all the work I've been doing, my animation and doing these wrestling reviews, I'm going to have to take something off the table. Either Raw or SmackDown is going to have to be removed, and I'm going to have to see if I can do just NXT. You guys tell me below which one I should get rid of. Should it be SmackDown or Raw? Because if I really want to watch NXT and review it, I'm not going to do 3 shows back to back to back. I tried that once, and it badly stressed me out. I couldn't keep up with it. So, when it comes down to it, I don't know if I'll be able to see it next week. But, I do believe they're going to, well, they're going to probably kick Aleister Black's ass really badly this coming NXT. That's what I believe. I really believe that. Now, final match of the night. Was this the best story of Ciampa and Gargano? To me, personally, no. But if I was an objective reviewer, yes it was. It was the best told story that culminated into something that generally you would think has to have a really big payout. And when it comes to NXT compared to Raw and SmackDown, you do have a payout because Gargano came back. Now, was the match good? Here's the problem. It was a very good match. But what you look in my face right now, look at my face right now. You can see the image of Ciampa's face. I mean, dude, taking it away. They used to be able to do wrestling matches where, yeah, they would get a little beat up, but they wouldn't look like they'd been in an actual fight. This is what I don't understand about wrestling fans. Why do you want them to be so realistic that they're so beat up that when the time comes for them to really do a real rough match, they're so badly beaten up, they got to go out. They got to go to a hospital. And they're gone for a couple of months. You wonder why they had to go like that. It's because they had to have such a rough match when it's not necessary that they're gone. I do not believe they need to go this far. I do not believe that Ciampa and Gargano had to literally physically hurt each other so badly that Ciampa's face was legitimately punched in. A messed up eye. Bruising on the face. He did not need to get beaten up that badly. You can do the most incredible match. They didn't need to be that freaking physical. Only in very special situations that you need to do something like that. And I know people can say, well, this is part of WrestleMania. This is a part of NXT. It had to be the... No! No. It did not need to be that bad. It didn't. And I know a lot of people would say, yes, it did. But let's be honest here. NXT is not even the major brand. They're not. If you really want to have a true payoff for these guys, put them on freaking WrestleMania. The WWE has the opportunity to take many of these matches and put them on the card for WrestleMania and make them special. Even if they had to be on a kickoff show. You could have done the kickoff show for NXT and the rest of the show could have been Raw and SmackDown. You didn't have to have TakeOver on Saturday. You actually could have done this. TakeOver could have been Sunday. The 2-hour special could have been, the kickoff show could have been TakeOver. And you could have let them been, you could have sponsored NXT TakeOver for WrestleMania. Or, which would have been better, put these special matches on the main card of WrestleMania. Let people be exposed to NXT so when these guys actually come, they'll know who they already are. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not against TakeOver. The TakeOver episodes of NXT, the pay-per-view, what am I saying? Episodes. Look, I'm angry about this. Because they didn't need to go that far. They did not need to go that freaking far. Particularly that I think Gargano kicked out Ciampa's tooth. You see something white sitting inside the ring. Unless that was a piece of gum. That might have been Ciampa's tooth. That was on the ring mat. The ring apron. You saw it. He spit. And it looked like he lost a possible tooth. They didn't need to go that far. It was ridiculous. Was it a great match? Yes, but it was too far in it. It should have had a payout on WrestleMania. They should have booked it there. That should have been it. Instead of almost Aleister Black being second to the last match, this should have been left for WrestleMania, and Aleister Black and Sumo as almost and Aleister Black should have been the last match of the night. They should have been. It should have been that. And you should have been allowing this match to go on WrestleMania. That's when it would have been a good payout. To see these guys beating the crap out of each other for real, because it would have been on a grand stage, not here. Now, was the match totally destroying the show? No. Was the show great? Yes. But did they sell much? No way did they sell enough. They told a decent story, but it was not complete. Was it fun to watch? Yes. But was some of these matches not needing what was there? I can't say 100%. There was a lot of stuff that was not needed. But I can say that they could have cranked some of it back. They didn't need to go so all out to the point where they didn't want to sell. And when it came to Ciampa and Gargano, they should have had this on WrestleMania, not here. They could have had one match for NXT, and it should have been that. And then it would make sense why they literally beat the fuck out of each other. But this is just my point of view. Have a good day, have a good night, and watch my WrestleMania review. I'm going to be doing it probably at 1 to 2 in the morning. You'll probably see it uploaded by 3. I'm dedicated to making sure you guys see a real... if I don't get sick, I'm so, what am I saying? I don't get sick. You see that 7.5 hours is making me delirious. I don't want to do it, but I am dedicated to giving you guys good content. I hope you enjoyed this. Peace.